Well, if you would turn in your Bibles, Nehemiah chapter 1, verse 3 and 4, notice there these words. And they said to me, the survivors who are left from the captivity in the province are there in great distress and reproach. The wall of Jerusalem is also broken down, and its gates are burned with fire. And so it was that when I heard these words, that I sat down and wept and mourned for many days. I was fasting and praying before the God of heaven. I'm going to talk today about the breaking, the birthing, the building. The breaking, the birthing, the building. Isn't it interesting that before a baby is born, the baby is in this special sac in the mother's womb that protects it, filled with amniotic fluid that is its insulation and cushion to protect it from all of the bounces and bumps of life. God has a way of just using the water of the word that when life beats you up, he's got something to cushion you. It doesn't stop the blows, it cushions the blows so that you are not damaged in the process. So there is a breaking though. Isn't it interesting that before there's ever a birthing, there's a breaking? The water has to be broken. Even if you have a cesarean, they have to break that sac. They have to break your water. There has to be a breaking. If there is no breaking of the water, there is no birthing. There has to be the breaking. And in fact, when the water breaks, it facilitates the actual birthing process. The breaking is a catalyst to the birth. The breaking is a catalyst. So when they want to speed up that whole birthing process, they will break your water. They have something that looks like a crochet needle that they stick up there, and they will break your water if it doesn't break on its own. And they use that to facilitate the birthing, to serve as a catalyst to the birthing process. There is a breaking, there is a birthing, and then there is a building. Because when a mother gets pregnant and she takes it through its gestational period, and then she comes under contractions, and life will give you its contractions. And trust me, any woman who's ever gone through that knows it is not designed for your comfort. You have to learn how to just feel the pain. I like the women of old who just, they didn't have anesthesia. You had to be a real woman to give birth. It's something, it means something to you when you feel what you have birthed. And that's why you don't play with a mama's child, because they've gone through too much to try to birth it into the world. And so, but there is a breaking. There's a breaking of the water, and then there is a birthing, and then there is a building of that life to become a Jesus follower. And so we go through a process. And here, this is around the year 450 BC, when Nehemiah, who is a slave because the Jews are in exile, and now he is there serving as a king's cupbearer to King Artaxerxes. But he's a slave in a strange land. And he gets the news that the walls of Jerusalem are in ruin. And when he learned of the condition of his homeland, his heart broke. And it is interesting that as his heart broke, he went into overwhelming despair. Nehemiah was broken. He was broken. He couldn't sleep. He couldn't eat. He was broken. But he had to go through the brokenness in order for that to be a birthing of what God wanted him to do. Don't fight the brokenness that God is bringing in your life. What did Nehemiah do when he was broken? He started fasting and he started praying. Two things. When he was broken, he started fasting and he started praying. When you get broken, turn your plate down and turn your prayer up. Turn your plate down and turn your prayer up. Whenever you go through brokenness, turn your plate down and turn your prayer up. He fasted and he prayed. Listen, the more you lean into God, the clearer your purpose becomes. The more you lean into God, And there's nothing that helps you to lean into God like fasting, turning your plate down, and then actually turning your prayer up. It's helping you to lean into God, and it makes the purposes of God clearer to you. The brokenness in Nehemiah's heart here led to an intimacy with God through prayer that actually unclouded Nehemiah's broken spirit. He heard bad news and didn't know what to do because it wasn't clear what he should do. Have you ever been overwhelmed? Because when life hits you hard with a crisis, you're numb. You don't know what to do. You're in shock. You're trying to get your bearings and try to figure out what just happened and what do I do in light of what happened. You will live through life and think that because you said your prayers and now I lay me down to sleep, I pray the Lord my soul to keep. And then you get up and you go through hell the next day that you had never banked on. And then you just heard people testifying, how you doing? Oh, I'm blessed and highly favored. And you're going through some stuff that doesn't look like a blessing. And it doesn't feel like you're highly favored at all. What in the world do you do when life hits you and stuns you because it caught you on the blind side? It breaks you. Whenever you get broken, it's time to pray, it's time to fast. So you get clarity to say, God, what do I do now? What do I do in the midst of the loss that I'm experiencing? What do I do, Lord, in the midst of this brokenness that I'm experiencing? God, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing, God? I don't even understand. And I want you to understand this, that your ability to endure difficult situations is directly proportional to the clarity of your purpose. When you're going through a difficult situation, it is directly proportional to the clarity of your purpose, your ability to endure that difficult situation. Is directly proportional to the clarity of your purpose. Let me just say it this way, that your why power is greater than your willpower. Your why power is greater than your willpower. You know, a mother will get up and go to work. She'll push herself out when she's not even feeling that well because she knows she's got a child to feed. And it's the why power. Not her willpower. Her will said, you know what, I can't do this today. I can't do this. I can't deal with them folks down there today. But when your why is strong enough, your why gives you the ability to overcome the what. That I don't feel like going right now, but I got to go because somebody is dependent on me. I got to go because I got a son that's looking at me, because I got a daughter that's looking at me. I got people that believe in me. I've got too many folks that have prayed for me. My why power now has to carry me even when my willpower is exhausted. And you will go through some things in this life where you just lose your willpower. Life will knock your will out of you. That's why you got to turn your plate down and turn your prayer up so that you get clarity of your purpose, and it gives you strength to be able to endure. And when you have an understanding of the purposes of God, God, what are you doing in the midst of this chaos? Out of chaos, God brings order. And it is purpose that makes sense of the chaos. Out of the blood and out of the water. You know, if I realize, can you imagine if you were the first person on the earth and then nobody had ever told you anything about pregnancy and birthing, and all of a sudden, here you are with your mate and you all are having hot relations? And then months down the road, something is kicking in you, and nobody ever told you anything about how things could grow in you and then start moving, and then you see an elbow go across your stomach and a knee come across your stomach, and you know, and nobody's ever, it's like, oh my God, I'm possessed. If you'd never seen anybody else pregnant, if you were the first one, and you were just in love with somebody, and you all were just doing what was natural, and if nobody ever explained the birds and the bees, and now you got something growing into you. But can you imagine, because you understand what's happening in the process, it helps you to say, yeah, I've seen this before. I saw this on my mama. I saw this on my big sister. If you've seen somebody else pregnant, now you understand why your clothes are tight now, why your feet are swelling. You understand now because you've seen somebody else go through it. But see, there's a breaking, there's a brokenness that we go through. It is the breaking that brings us to a point actually of the brokenness. And I'm so glad that, Whenever God does not immediately change your circumstances, it's because God is trying to immediately change you. If he doesn't immediately change your circumstances, God is trying to immediately change you for the circumstances. And your faith in God and God's grace in you is what really makes you valuable to God's kingdom and God's agenda. They empower you to be who God has called you to be. It's not what you get that makes you valuable. It's the person that you become that makes you valuable. It's not what you get. It's the person that you become. You know, you go to work for somebody, you get a paycheck. It's not what you get that makes you valuable. It's the person that you become. It's the knowledge that you develop there. It's the people skills. It's the order. It's the structure that you develop that becomes transferable. It becomes transportable, that even if you go to a job and if you lose that job, you haven't lost everything, because you carry with you all of the intel, all of the structure, all of the know-how, all of the initiative, all of the organizational skills. You take with you everything that you've learned. You take it with you. It's who you have become that makes you valuable. But here, the walls of Jerusalem, his homeland, were in ruins. Doors broken down, walls torn down. And Nehemiah learned of it. When things that you love break down, it breaks your heart. But I'm so glad Psalm 34:18 says that the Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. He's near the brokenhearted. God loves the brokenhearted. He's very near to them, and he saves the crushed spirit. If you got a broken heart, God, he'll make his way to you in an incredible way. He's near the broken heart. He never abandons the brokenhearted. He comes there. And let me just say to you that brokenness is the opposite of arrogance and pride. Brokenness, it is the opposite of arrogance and pride. I want you to understand it this way. Brokenness is surrender. It is surrender. It is surrender. You know, there are some stubborn people. You can't tell them anything. Let them keep living. Life will break you. You be young, you think you know everything. You're judging other people. I don't understand how come maybe he don't make his wife just sit down and just shut him out. Keep living. Just keep living. Oh, you'll understand real soon. Just keep living. Brokenness is about surrender. God has a way of bringing you to this place of brokenness where you say, okay, God, I give up. I give up. I give up. Lord, I need you. I can't do this on my own. I surrender. I surrender trying to do this thing my way. Brokenness is about surrender. He brings us to a place of surrender so that we can get all of God's way, God's way. He says, my ways are not your ways. My thoughts are not your thought. But see, when we're operating in our humanity, we want to have our way. We want to have our will. And we think that our way is the best way. It's because this is the way that I was taught. And let's do it my way, God. And until he lets you experience brokenness. And it shows us that our way doesn't work. So it brings us to a place of surrender. And listen, until we surrender, we don't qualify for God's help. Until we surrender, we don't qualify for God's help. God doesn't just come in and rescue people just because they're in trouble. You got to cry for help. Whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved. You can be out there drowning, and if you got too much arrogance and pride, say, you know what, I'm going to swim this thing back. Lord, I don't need you. I can get back myself. I can take care of these bills myself. I can deal with the cancer myself. I've got good doctors. I've got good insurance. But until he gets you to that place where you realize, I can't do this place of surrender, you don't even qualify for God's help until you come to that place of surrender to say, Jesus, I can't do this. Lord, if you don't deal with me but this spouse, Lord, I'm going to the lawyer's office in the morning. Jesus, I'm going in the morning. See, it's that surrender. Surrender qualifies us for God's help. You don't qualify until you surrender. So he has to bring us to that place of brokenness. Because seeds contain the potential for fruitfulness, but they can never bring forth fruit until they're broken. Have you ever imagined that? A seed does not produce fruit until the seed is broken. But you know, when you put a seed in the ground, that seed cracks open. It disembowels, as it were. And then the roots start just going and stuff starts unfolding, but stuff never unfolds until it is broken and buried. It is buried first and then it breaks open. So sometimes you got to be put under. It is the pressure that cracks us. And the devil thinks that he's just got us on the rope when he has cracked us. Bring the pressure on, because you're getting ready to unfold and to grow and multiply. You can't really grow until you've been cracked. And the great thing about it is, I want you to just stop praying and asking God not to break you. It's your way of saying, I don't ever want to surrender. And then somebody else is praying, you know, God, give me back what I lost. Lord, give me back what I lost. Give me back what I lost. And God is saying that I want to give you things that you've never had before. I want to give you things that you've never had before. I want to let you look through eyes that you've never seen before. I want to let you hear and feel things that you've never felt before. I want to let you experience some things that you've never experienced before. Listen, I mean, when God says, listen, in Isaiah chapter 43 and verse 19, he says, I'm about to do something new. See, I have already begun. Do you not see it? I will make a pathway through the wilderness, and I will create rivers in the dry wastelands. God says, listen, I'm about to do something new. I'm about to do something new. I'm about to do something new. Whenever I brought you to a brokenness in whatever was there, when I break that, I'm about to do something new. He says, see, I have already begun it. Yet the seed is cracking. I'm about to do something new. You're about to birth something that you have never had before. You're about to be birthed into a dimension that you've never had, but it only follows a breaking. So don't fight the breaking. Don't fight the breaking. You know why? Because brokenness creates openness. Brokenness creates openness. Brokenness creates openness. Brokenness on the earth creates openness in the heavens. Brokenness on the earth creates openness in the heaven. Brokenness on the earth creates openness in the heaven. If you ever want to get an open heaven before you, if you will let your heart break on the earth, fall on the rock and let it break you. Let it break you, because God's trying to get something out of you. He's trying to get something out of you, but he has to break us. He has to break us. He has to break us. What is God trying to open you up to? Because our brokenness leads us to Jesus. Our brokenness, it leads us to Jesus. It has the potential to lead us to Jesus. And your experience with God becomes your message to people. Your experience with God becomes your message to people. Until you have had an experience with God, you don't have anything to say. You're sounding brass and a tinkling cymbal. You're overcome by the blood of the Lamb, by the word of your testimony. You got to have an experience with God. This is not just about the books that you read. I want to know, do you know the man? Do you know tell me about your journey with him. What was it like when he came into your soul? I want you to talk to me about Jesus, about Jesus, about Jesus, 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 Jesus. If it's just about showmanship on a platform saying, look at my gifts, look at my oratory skills, look at my movement, look at my manner. No. If you're not pointing to somebody that is greater than you and somebody that'll be here when you're long gone and you're just dust in the earth, you got to be able to point to the one that this thing is ultimately about Jesus. Didn't he say that if I be lifted up from the earth, I will draw all men unto me? I'm telling you, this thing is ultimately about Jesus. It's about Jesus. It is about Jesus. It is not about calling your prophet, calling your man of God, calling your deacon, calling your lady friend. No. It's about Jesus. You got to fix your eyes now looking unto Jesus, looking unto Jesus, who is the author and the finisher of our faith. You better be looking unto Jesus, looking unto Jesus, looking unto Jesus. Get your eyes off of your mama, your daddy, your 401k, your employer. You better get your eyes on Jesus. It is not your husband, it's not your wife, it's not your son, it's not your daughter. You better look to Jesus, look to Jesus. Fix your eyes upon Jesus, looking unto him, the author and the finisher of your faith. Can I prophesy to you for just a moment? Oh my God, I feel God in this place. I feel God in this place. I feel God in this place. That God would not put it on you unless he had already put it in you. Oh my God, there is something that is in you that you don't even know what's in you until God has put it on you. You don't know how strong you are until you got a burden. You really don't know what you can bear until he's put it on you. But when God puts it on you, it is his way of saying, I've got faith in my son, in my daughter, that she is not going to crack. They're going to be able to come out of this better, stronger, wiser. I don't know who I'm talking to in this place today, but there is a strength that is marching and building in the people of God. And if you will let him walk with you and break you, you'll qualify yourself for God's strength. You don't know what you can deal with until it comes. There is a breaking in the earth. All of creation is groaning, is groaning. It's groaning for the manifestation of the sons and daughters of God. We see something happening in Hawaii. Volcanoes erupting. And I was on the plane yesterday on the way back to be here for you this morning. And a man from Hawaii was sitting next to me. And he's explaining to me about the volcanoes. And he said the strange thing about it is that most of the lava is not coming out of the cone of the volcano. He said it is coming from fractures and fissures in the ground. He said they are spewing up 80 to 100 feet out of that's not coming out the top, it's coming from the foundation. And I just heard the voice of the Holy Spirit saying there's a breaking in the earth. And when change doesn't come voluntarily from the top, I will break it up. I'll cause fissures and fractures in little known places and people that don't have titles. I'll begin to move. And it'll oppress people and it'll abuse people and folks that's been under stuff. But I'm going to break it up and I'm going to let some hot stuff come out. I'm going to let some hot stuff come out. I'm just telling you, God's doing something in the earth. The earth is prophesying to us. Those that are spiritual, I'm just telling you. There is a God. There is a God. There's a breaking. There's a breaking. There's a breaking and it is a birthing. There is a divine shift that is happening. It's not coming through politics. God help us. Some of the lava's going to have to deal with our politicians. But there's some things that are coming. Listen, we're in serious trouble in America when we put politics above our Christianity. I'm a Christian first. I'm a Christian first. I'm a Jesus follower first. I'm a walk in the ways of love first. Listen, don't ever put whether you're Democrat, Republican, Independent, or whatever you are Jesus follower first. We're his child first. We're born of love first. Take your seat. We got to get through. But before a vision is birthed, a burden must be born. Before a vision is birthed, a burden must be born. A burden must be born. A burden must be born. You got to carry your burden. There's a burden. You know, we used to sing the song, must Jesus bear the cross alone and all the world go free? And there's a cross for everyone, and there's a cross for me. There is a cross. There's a burden to bear before there's a vision that is born. And Nehemiah had to be broken. He had to lose his appetite. He had to be disturbed where he couldn't sleep because he was bearing a burden. That burden caused a brokenness in him. The brokenness caused an openness. The openness was a place that God then shone light. And when the light, if there is no light, there is no vision. And because he had it, because whenever there's light, light demands a platform. It demands. In the beginning, God said, let there be light. Immediately, darkness had to back up because light demands a platform. There must be brokenness before there's openness. The openness brings in the light. The light causes the darkness to scatter. And listen, we become the size of the dreams that we are courageous enough to pursue. we become the size of the dreams that we are courageous enough to pursue.
Thank you for watching Power for Living with Bishop Dale C. Bronner. Join us again next time for Power for Living, where revelation is power. Power for living.